It's just like the mics. I'm Lance Nell, Dean of the Robert C. Backer College of Business and Entrepreneurship.
Dean Nail, today we've been at an Educate Texas RGV Focus Conference, a retreat to talk about how education's going in the Rio Grande Valley, and all the schools are represented here. You were a panelist, and I was struck by one of the remarks you made about how perhaps the Rio Grande Valley, in the Rio Grande Valley, we do not toot our own horn. We don't tell our story well enough about how well we're doing and how great our students are. Fair comment?
That's a fair comment. I think there's a humility and a modesty here in the Valley, and people don't like to toot their own horn, to use that expression. But having been around other parts of the country and seeing what our students are capable of doing and what they've done, I think that we need to be bragging on them more.
And so what is special? What have you like you say, you come from San Diego?
San Diego.
Been here about 4 years?
Correct.
What's special about the Valley?
Well, the fact that it's a very gracious community. Everyone welcomes you, and it's a very, very warm community, but the work ethic is incredible. And I see that in our students. The way that they engage, the way that they take on projects, the way they serve the community, there's just a community focus here that's unlike anywhere else I've ever been.
And you're on the panel. Is anything that you really interested you in the remarks of your fellow panelists, or any particular points you wanted to get across to this audience today?
Well, I think we're all talking about the same thing. It's about partnerships. And so it's our K-12 partners, it's our higher ed partners, it's our industry partners, and we're all trying to reach the same goal, same outcome, and that's creating a greater economy and a greater workforce here in the Valley.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about your department, your college within UTRGV.
We're about 4,200 students strong, and we have two main campuses, of course, which most people know, but we have the Edinburgh and Brownsville, but we also have an innovation center, our Center for Innovation and Commercialization in Weslaco, and where our entrepreneurship programs are located. And so we have a lot of activity all across Upper, Mid, and Lower Valley.
And do we have a community that is basically entrepreneurial? Are the students, do they have all the qualities to be successful?
Extremely, and that's the thing we're trying to do. We're trying to take entrepreneurship and turn that into scalable innovation. So having that entrepreneurial mindset is absolutely essential, but it's the scalable innovation that creates economic opportunity.
That's okay. And so what sort of programs, what sort of policies are you implementing to ensure that happens?
So obviously we have an entrepreneurship program, so students can actually major in entrepreneurship, but also for any major, and even for the community, we have launch competitions, pitch competitions. We'll have one here in a couple of weeks. Anyone that has an idea and wants to pitch the idea and look for funding or look for mentors to guide them into a startup opportunity, we have those on a regular basis at the CIC, and those are great opportunities to come in. You want to either succeed, or you want to fail fast or succeed, and that's what these are meant to do. They're called lean startups, and that's sort of the methodology we use here. So we take people in and say, okay, let's see what we can do to get you started up, and if it's not a good idea, let's not waste a lot of time, energy, and resources on it. Let's pivot to something else. But if it's a good idea, we'll find you the mentors and the capital and everything to be successful.
Those remarks, that reminds me of something that was said in the keynote address today by Alex Mead, an economic development expert, and in the Q&A, Dr. Danny King from Region 1 said, it seems to him as though there's just so much emphasis on recruiting companies from outside rather than growing our own, that there is talent, there are companies here that with some help, there's entrepreneurs here that with some help from the EDCs could flourish.
I absolutely agree with him. We've been working on that, and so we're trying to actually scale that now. We've had a program called Adopt a Startup in Brownsville, where our faculty and students actually adopt a startup to give them the training, the business skills, the things that they don't have. They're entrepreneurs. They know what they're working on, but they don't necessarily know how to run a company or to scale it. And so our students in a class project adopt them. So we're trying to scale that up and have an even broader impact, because we want to build our own here in the Valley.
Dr. Nail, anything else you'd like to say?
take advantage and brag on the great students and opportunities we have in the Valley.
Thank you so much for today's interview.
Steve, thank you.